Free Japan Channel number 38. Today, June 22nd, Saturday. The time is 10 a.m. So Saturday morning. Here in Yokohama, summer morning is now spreading blue sky and white clouds, and distant landscape cannot be seen at this time of the year. Dear listeners, how are you? I am very fine. FCC's today's topic is Putin's Eurasianism. Do you know the name or principle Eurasianism? Eurasianism is the idea or ideology that Eurasian countries should have their own independent principle, which is different from Western principle or Western philosophy. Russian philosopher Alexander Dugin is the advocate of this Eurasianism now. But broadly speaking, this Eurasianism is one part of land power theory. If you are familiar with geopolitics, the world should be divided into two parts, namely sea power and land power. And of course, the former Soviet Union and present Russia is a land power country. China is also. And Japan, United States, United Kingdom, these countries are, of course, sea power country. And Eurasianism is the backbone ideology for Eurasian countries, not only Russia, but also Central Asian countries, including Kazakhstan, Tajikistan, Uzbekistan, and China. India can be included. Iran Republic is also the candidate for this Eurasianism. In fact, Eurasia, this area has been called the backbone of civilization of the world. Historically, the main civilization was built near the river or near the sea. Don't you think so? Indian civilization or Chinese civilization or European civilization, Egyptian civilization. These were built near the sea or near the river. But in Eurasianism, the river and sea have nothing to do with it. This is literally the land power theory, and this area can be or should be united by the ideology Eurasianism. So the people of this area think that they should unite and they should form one pole in the world political power. Now, there are several political powers in the world. Of course, American continent and European continent, Africa, India. But in Eurasianism, Russia should also be one pole of these political powers. So each pole should have its own philosophy and ideology, and other poles should not interfere with each other. If Western people want to stick to liberalism, for example, or democracy, then it is their freedom to pursue them. But this is not the case with Russians, for example, and it is not true of Chinese. according to Eurasianism, Russia or Iran or India, China, these countries should have their own way in the international arena, and this is their freedom. These land power countries have their own interests, which are very different from those of sea power countries. And if the interest is shared among these countries, then why not? They should unite and form one pole. And the backbone ideology is the Eurasianism. China's leader, Xi, also has been advocating the One Belt plan, One Belt project in the Central Asia. This is also one expression of Eurasianism in the Chinese version. And of course, in Russia, President Putin advocates this Eurasianism. Putin visited North Korea this week, and he was so welcomed, he was so applauded in Pyongyang, in North Korea. This is because the leaders of North Korea, including Kim Jong-un, wisely understood the importance of Eurasianism, and the welcoming attitude of North Korea was the clear message of North Korea to Russia that North Korea wants to join the memberships of Eurasianism. So now the leaders of Russia, Putin, of course, thinks that North Korea is on their side. As I said, this Eurasianism is a very strong and robust ideology which support these land power countries. This means it is a very great, very big menace, threat to sea power countries like Japan. And Japan has almost no natural resources in the domestic field, and it depends on other countries for their food. In addition, Japanese constitution prohibits that it should have some military force. From this point of view, Japan is very vulnerable to foreign attack. Japan is a weak country despite its relatively big economic power. Then Japanese people should be very careful about Eurasianism and the movement of this ideology. Eurasian countries are now uniting more and more intensely. Sea power countries also have countermeasures to this ideology. What should we do then for Japanese people? This is our challenge, our task, in my opinion. Thank you.